Selain itu, juga terdapat beberapa adat rasam dan pantang larang yang diamalkan selepas kelahiran dan dapat dilihat dalam beberapa aspek. Segi tingkah laku atau susila. Wanita hendaklah berpantang 坐月子 selama sebulan. Jika amalan berpantang tidak dilakukan dengan tepat, ibu yang baru bersalin akan mengalami rahim kendur. Bayi yang baru lahir diperhatikan bentuk fisikalnya dan dikatakan telinga yang lebar dan tebal bakal menjalani kehidupan yang kaya. Wanita juga akan dilarang untuk mencuci rambut anda selepas bersalin atas alasan bahawa kesejukan. Pada zaman dahulu, keadaan rumah miskin dan suhu bilik tidak dikawal dengan baik, maka mungkin ada kebocoran udara jika kepala ditiup boleh menyebabkan bulan sakit kepada penyakit. Wanita baru bersalin juga dielakkan mengangkat objek berat. Hal ini kerana mengangkat benda berat boleh mengakibatkan penarikan otot perut, mungkin menyebabkan pendarahan dalaman. Masyarakat Cina juga mengadakan kenduri. Dalam kenduri tersebut, kuih khas yang berbentuk bulat berwarna merah akan diberikan kepada saudara mara yang terdekat dan dibalas angpau ataupun hadiah pakaian bayi kepada mereka. Dari segi pemberian nama kepada bayi pula, sistem nama yang baik ini perlu mengambil kira unsur yin dan yang. Kegagalan memberi nama yang baik akan mempengaruhi perjalanan hidup seseorang. Akhirnya, dalam segi permakaan, selepas melahirkan anak, ibu yang telah bersalin hendaklah makan makanan dan herba tertentu supaya dapat mempercepatkan pemulihan daripada kerahan tenaga sewaktu melahirkan anak.
Are you aware of any pantang larang for pregnant lady during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Yeah, I do.
Can you give us a few examples of pantang larang during pregnancy and after?
During pregnancy, most probably you cannot eat something, those food like the cooling food, and after give birth, you will have to follow. If it's Chinese tradition way, you can't take bath for during the confinement period. Cannot wash hair, something like that.
Are you aware of the meanings behind these pantang larang?
Sort of like to take good care of the body, like to readjust. Yeah.
Will you follow these pantang larang?
I think I would. Yeah, because we only have one body. So if you already know the way, tradition way, why our mother, grandmother, they practice this, and I think we should just practice.
Are you aware of any pantang larang for pregnant lady during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Sorry, I cannot get pregnant with an answer.
Yeah, kind of. Can you give us a few examples of pantang larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
During, I guess you must eat a lot of fish. Apparently it helps with the baby's brain. After, the baby cannot go out of the house for like a few months. And the mom also.
Are you aware of the meanings behind these pantang larang?
Not really.
Will you follow these pantang larang?
I mean, if it helps with the baby's health, then yeah. But if it's just superstition, then
And for you, would you mind if these pantang larang affects your daily life?
No.
Are you aware of any pantang larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Yes, I am aware of few.
Can you give us a few examples of pantang larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
During pregnancy, I think the pregnant lady shouldn't move any heavy items or do any renovation at home and so on. And after giving birth, I think the lady shouldn't get down from the bed. They should rest on that at home, and they cannot go out.
Are you well aware of the meanings behind these pantang larang?
Well, in scientifically, you can say that it's for their safety to avoid them. So any accident while they are doing renovations or moving heavy items around, they might cause accidents. After birth, maybe they scared that the lady is still weak after giving birth, and then they don't want them to be like moving around, and it's because their immune system is still weak. Yeah.
How are you aware of these pantang larang? From where do you get these?
I get it from the parents and from the older generations and so on, but I add on a scientific explanation on that.
Would you mind if these pantang larang affects your daily life?
Should be okay, because if you use the scientific way to explain all these things, they come with a reason, then you should adapt with this, and then yeah.
If you think it affects your daily life in any way, how would you think it affects?
Affects not really affects lah. Will be like if like you want to move something, your wife or your friends which is pregnant could not help you. That's just a minor thing only. You can get other to help as well. Then, but they are the most priority to take care of their baby. Yes.
Are you aware of any pantang larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
For me, bagi saya setakat ini tak ada. Tapi kalau mengikut kita orang punya macam Melayu punya orang Melayu, masa pantang kita kena jaga makan, tak boleh sejuk, and then some makanan tu dia tak boleh makan macam laksa, pedas-pedas, so dia kena makan yang, then diorang kena makan dalam kuantiti yang sedikit. Kalau dalam masa mengandung, saya rasa setakat ini tak ada pantang larang.
Do you know any specific pantang larang in the Chinese culture?
I don't know.
Are you well aware of the meanings behind these pantang larang?
I'm not sure, but for me, pantang larang bermaksud bila kita dah melahirkan, dia nak bagi kita badan kita firm balik tau. So in future kita takkan sakit-sakit, kita boleh jadi lagi cergas daripada sebelum ni. Sebab bila kita dah bersalin, kita punya badan totally akan berubah. Dalaman pun sama, urat-urat kita pun bagi orang Melayu dia kata kembang tau. So bila kembang, bila akan datang kita akan jadi letih. So bila kita berpantang, dia akan buat kita lagi segar dan sihat. Alhamdulillah.
Will you follow these pantang larang?
Tak semua lah, sikit-sikit macam ais, and then sejuk-sejuk tu suka pakai stokin macam tu lah. I pun tak ada follow semua sekali lah.
How are you aware of these pantang larang? From where have you heard these?
From my family, my nenek, my mom.
Are you aware of any pantang larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Yeah, actually, I heard a lot of rumors about it. It's like most of the women who's pregnant, it's like they usually, what my mom really told me, that they cannot like hang the curtains, cannot sweep the floor, cannot do the household, all the chores, and they usually like they keep sleeping on the bed, like don't do as much action that is good. So this is like what for my opinion lah, like from my mom, heard from my mom.
Are you well aware of the meanings behind these pantang larang?
Not really. I don't. Sometimes I don't really research about it, but they usually don't have this like science like to prove it. Actually, it's just most of it like a Chinese rumor about it, like a Chinese culture.
Do you know any specific pantang larang in the Chinese culture?
The most specific is like you cannot hang the curtains. That's the most specific one.
Any other examples?
For until now, I just know this one.
Would you mind if these pantang larang affects your daily life?
Not really.
Where have you heard of these pantang larangs other than your mom?
for my aunt.
Are you aware of any Pantang Larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Yes, during pregnancy.
Can you give us a few examples of Pantang Larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Um, an example would be for if the pregnancy is less than I think a month, we aren't supposed to announce it to other people.
Any more examples?
We can't do any renovation in the house, and yeah, women should stay in the house.
Do you know any specific Pantang Larang in the Chinese culture?
In the Chinese culture, uh, I'm not really sure because I'm not too sure.
How are you aware of these Pantang Larang? From where have you heard this?
For my parents, yeah, mostly the knowledge is passed down from the elders.
Are you well aware of the meanings behind these Pantang Larang?
Not really. Some of them doesn't make sense.
Do you mind if this Pantang Larang affects your daily life?
Yeah.
If you do, how do you feel would it affect your daily life?
Like it's very troublesome. You can't do a lot of things, and it's not logical in this era.
Are you aware of any Pantang Larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Yes and yeah, I guess.
Can you give us a few examples of Pantang Larang during pregnancy and after giving birth?
Oh, for like Indian ladies, they're not supposed to go out at night if they're pregnant. For my family, Chinese, usually you're not supposed to move around that much. And then most of the time, you ask people around you, you're not going to take the stuff. So you have to stay in bed most of the time.
Do you know any specific Pantang Larang in the Chinese culture for pregnancy?
Not that I know of.
How are you aware of these Pantang Larang? Where have you heard this from?
Well, I did actually, for the task, I actually did a Pantang Larang for this. So from there, I know.
Are you well aware of the meanings behind these Pantang Larang?
No, I,
Will you follow these Pantang Larang?
no, no.
Why do you think you won't follow?
My religion, is I'm Christian, and it's basically this is like there's no logic behind it. You follow something when there's logic and when it affects you, not because all the older generation says that you just follow it. Yeah, much in it. There's no logic behind it.